All right, boys, we're going to be breaking down wide receiver Troy Franklin. You can see he's lined up in the outside. This is going to be a three-man rush, and it just ends up being an absolute disaster for Dallas. Franklin finds the soft spot and gets up the field. Dallas was just completely out of position, and if you're going to rush three against the Broncos, you have no chance. This is the best offensive line in football. There's a couple of things that stood out to me about this play. The first one's obviously the protection, because, again, it's a 5-on-3. The second thing is that Sean Payton dialed up a great play, because he's able to pull the defense. You got receivers to the outside, a tight end coming across, Sutton is underneath, and then it leaves Franklin just absolutely wide open for Bo Nix to get him the football. And once Franklin catches it, Nix hits him in stride up top, so he's able to turn and get up the field, and he gets an extra 15-plus yards, really, just off of that alone. I mean, look at Bo Nix just maneuver in that pocket, finds the soft spot, and Franklin gets up the field. I was very confused because Dallas is only rushing three, and it looks like they have 7 guys in coverage. Like, if you count, there's 7 guys in coverage, but that's because there's a defender back here. You know, you got a deep safety like CM back there, so this is just a nightmare for Dallas, and it's a huge reason why they've had very little success, if any success, this season defensively, is they can't cover anyone, and if you're not going to send pressure, you're not going to have a chance against the Denver Broncos. Your only way to be able to beat them is just blitz Bo Nix, and now you've got Franklin on a quick screen, gets up the field for big-time yardage. See, Denver, they haven't run the ball that well in the Sean Payton era. Now, they were unbelievable in this game, 179 yards, but why not on early downs just go ahead and get it into your receiver's hands and let him go out and make a play? Good block by Sutton, and then Franklin just maneuvers for those extra yardage. I mean, it doesn't seem like much. That quick handoff, get it over that defensive back's hand, and then just get up the field, and just like that, you're inside of the 10-yard line. And now we've got Franklin in motion across the middle of the field. He's wide open for the touchdown. Take a look at, he's just motioning to the left, and Bo Nix is really looking at him the entire way. Pump fake, ball fake, and then just float it over that backer's head. It's a thing of beauty. And you got Bo Nix, of course, on a drop back to the outside. This is one of the very few misses that Bo Nix had in this game. It's a bad angle right here, but take a look at this. This has to be an absolute completion for Bo Nix. It's really good. It's really good protection as well. He had plenty of time. It's just a miss. See how Franklin, he's towards the sideline, he has to jump up, and Franklin's 6'3", so if you overthrow him, man, it's just not really a good ball. And he does come down with it. It looks like originally he gets 2 feet in bounds, but then you can see he doesn't, and it's ruled an incompletion. But just a great effort nonetheless. And again, Bo Nix is going to make that throw most of the time. It just happened to be off. It happens. I mean, he's human. Now you've got a bootleg to the left. In stride, hits Franklin for the first down. Again, nothing crazy. Fake it to the right. Pick up that block by Dobbins. Gets laid out. This is a winning play by Jacob Dobbins. See, I know I've given Dobbins a lot of crap. I actually covered him last season when he was with the Chargers, and I think he's a great guy. I think he still has a lot left in the tank. But this is a play right here where it just makes you fall in love with him, man. This is a Super Bowl level play. Is watch, you just fake the handoff and ready, just lower your shoulder into him, get absolutely knocked to the ground, but protect your quarterback. And then Bo Nix, of course, to the left finds Franklin. Good ball, makes up for the other one too. And then you've got another screen. You got blockers out in front. Franklin, unfortunately, is not able to get by. But this honestly could have been a huge play, because watch this. So Franklin catches it, and just like this, you've got, boom, right? You got linemen. Everyone's up in front. Of course, now they're 1 yard down the field, and they're getting up. But Franklin, when he goes by, you can see, I mean, this just ends up not really working out, as Sutton's man just gets by him, of course, and yeah, it doesn't really go at anything. But just the concept I thought was pretty cool. See, the Broncos, they do run a lot of screens and get rid of the ball quickly. I mean, these plays haven't really worked this season, but I like the concept of getting it into Franklin's hands again, because we've seen it work. And then he's just going to get to the back of the end zone for a second touchdown. Let's see how this actually developed. Okay, so Franklin is right here. Interesting. So he's on the left side. Let's see what route he ends up running, guys. He's just coming down. He runs a little bit. It's just an in and out route, basically. It's just a double move, man. 1-on-1, this is gonna win, because you have to respect the speed of Franklin. So, because watch when he cuts inside, right? See how he cuts inside? He's so fast that if you don't run with him, well, yeah, sure, there's help right there, but you just don't really want to take that chance of getting beat. But then, of course, he gets his momentum to the right, and then he turns like this. It's sort of like a dig route, like a deep dig route. And then he gets to the outside, and there's no help there, obviously. And then Bo Nix just has to loft it up to him. I mean, Troy Franklin is going to be so difficult to cover, because he runs a 4.3, and he's like 6. I think Franklin might even be taller than 6'3". I mean, what's his measurements on ESPN? 6'3", 180. Yeah, I mean, good luck running with him. It's going to be impossible. If I'm being completely real, though, this defender probably should have let him go to this point because, like, you've got the reason why safeties exist is literally so you have help. So it's kind of a bad decision by the defensive back. I kind of get, as a former corner myself, not obviously not NFL level, I kind of get why that happened. But yeah, that's exactly what Denver wanted, and it's just a wide open touchdown. Now we've got another play action fake, and Denver ran the ball so well in this game that you kind of had to bite on the run. I mean, again, they had almost 200 rushing yards, but to this point, everyone's down the field. Bo Nix is able to step up. He's got that deep ball. It is double coverage, but with Franklin, you kind of like your odds. Maybe you can draw pass interference. And if I'm being honest with you, I mean, this is a tough throw for Bo Nix because, again, you've got two defenders in the area, and Franklin is, like, running like this, and then he ends up having to go, like, to the ball. And it's hard to track that as a receiver look because, like, you're following it in the sky, and then, it's just tough. And when I was watching this live, I thought for sure that this was going to connect. It just kind of felt like, if you go back to the Bills game, I mean, I don't know why it reminded me of that, but it just felt like this was going to, obviously that was a completely different scenario, but yeah, it's just, I like the idea. I mean, again, we're not only going to show the completions, we're going to show the incompletions, but this just draws a defense because imagine as a defense, you're just out there and you're thinking, okay, handoff, like everyone's just like, everyone's up. And all of a sudden, you pull this, and then you've got to deal with Troy Franklin running deep down the field. And let's take a look at this angle. Okay, so yeah, so you can see this would be the scenario against the Bills. I mean, there wasn't help right here. So Bo Nix, he ends up throwing this, and Franklin actually turns around this defender, and he has a chance on this ball to go out and to make a play. But I mean, it's just so difficult to do. Like, I mean, the only guy who probably brings that down in the league is a healthy Tyreek Hill. There's like very few players. But again, I like the shot. I like the concept, and the Broncos are going to hit on that more often than not. We've seen them run that same thing to Marvin Mims as well. But if I'm being completely honest, I mean, Troy Franklin, he ended up being a fourth-round pick. I thought he was a second, like a early second-round type of draft grade at the very least. But he ends up going to the fourth round, and this isn't anything crazy, but it just goes to show of how valuable he is in an offense because he can just get across the middle of the field and he can create yards after the catch, and he's just an absolute blur. And this is just a miscommunication on Dallas' end. But then you go ahead and you look at the next play right here, and now of course you've got him just on a quick screen. Sutton's out in front, and let's see how many yards does this go for. So Denver's currently at, looks like the 30, or they're at the 25. Okay, and then they kick it out to Franklin. So now he's basically at like the 26 right now. So then he gets up the field, he's still going, and then he's going to get about to the 15. So it's literally like a quick 10 yards, guys, off of that alone. That's awesome. That's basically a 10-yard run right there. And it's very rare teams are going to get a 10-yard rush, but this is basically what that does. Like, now there's going to be better teams where Denver struggles to run the ball, but at least they can go to Mims, they can go to Franklin and even Sutton and just let these guys create. Good blocking by Cortland Sutton as well. And then let's just get Franklin in motion on the left side, and then he finds that soft spot in the middle. This is basically like identical almost to the first play we showed, but again, he wasn't in motion on that. But it's just so easy for Denver to be able to pull these defenders, and all the attention's on Mims, and they just sort of sleep on Franklin. You can see this guy right here is trying to make a play, but he's just not back enough. And of course, you can't see both Nix and you can't see Franklin. They always say you want to see the ball in your man, because if they had seen his not not his man, but if he had seen Franklin, he could have made a play on this. And then again, this defensive back's just following Mims, but then of course you get Franklin over the middle and it just ends up being a touchdown.